everyone. We are getting closer and closer to star. So as we move closer, we are going to, or I am going to pull back a little bit of my help because I want you trying to make sure you can do this, okay? When you see a problem like this, okay, on your own paper, you're going to make sure you break up the shapes. Do that on your own paper. Remember, this is a semicircle, so you will have to take half. Now, your job is to make sure you put in the numbers, okay? So I want you to put in the numbers, and I want you to write the formula. You're going to do this nice and neat. Some of you just cannot do it, okay? So I want you to do those, and hopefully you know after you run the formulas, you're going to add those two numbers. Please add carefully. Okay. Number 2 says, Catherine buys a storage container for $24. If she has to pay 7.5% tax, what will be the total she has to pay? So remember, total means add. Okay. So hopefully we know our answer should be more than $24. I want you to remember that as you solve. Hopefully you remember we are going to change the percent to a decimal and multiply. So I should see this. Some of you just try to do it in your head and we mess up. 1, 2. Physically move it. Okay. 0.075 times 24. I do not line up the decimals, okay? Once you get this, what will this answer represent? Well, it's going to represent the tax because that's what this is, okay? So in order to find the total, we then are going to add it. My suggestion, if you are listening, only for those of you that are listening, put 24.00. plus this. That's the only way you'll get an answer bigger than 24. Okay? Number 3, solve in grid. Okay? I'm going to get you started. You'll finish up. Okay? This is an equation, not an inequality, so we're going to get the value of x. So hopefully we know our first step is plus 8 plus 8. And I'm going to get you started because I don't want you to mess up this first step, otherwise you'll get the whole answer wrong, okay? So this part, I want you to think of what would be here. Different, difference, subtract. So I would have to do 41 minus 8, right? You'd regroup, and hopefully you would get 33. Now, what about that 33? It's negative, okay? That is negative, okay? Then we're going to divide by 3, and this becomes a triangle problem. I'm going to give you a hint. Your answer should be negative. So you would want to make sure you put that, okay? Okay. On this one, I'm going to read these, okay? What I can tell on this is this right here means I'm going to be looking for 12 per, 12 each, or 12 every. I don't know if you remember that. And then the other part is that I would write it this way. You don't have to. This is how my brain thinks. I just flip the whole thing. So there's my end point. This is greater than over here, okay? So I'm going to get you started. I'm going to do 2 of these. I'm going to put an X or a check if I think it might be correct, okay? Felicia has 12 buttons in her collection. Already, I don't think that's right because it doesn't say 12 each. It just says 12 buttons. She will collect 29 new buttons every year. There it is. So it's 29 every. Nope, nope, nope. This is wrong. I'm almost positive this is wrong. Okay. Now, letter B. Felicia has 29 buttons in her collection. So maybe she will collect 12 new buttons every year. So it looks like it's getting more. So I see a plus, so that looks good. 12 every, okay. I started with 29. I get 12 more every year. So right now this is looking good. For what values of K will Felicia have at least 120 buttons? That means at least means 120 or more. Well, looking at this, remember, I can't really do it with my hand here, but this would be the alligator eating this. So this would mean this is more. That much or more. This one looks like a good answer. Okay? So I want you to read this. See if this could be the answer or this one. Right now, this one looks good. Okay? Okay, number 5. Guys, I put this half the time and we still messed up. Hopefully we know these parentheses mean multiply. This means this is a triangle. Do not put arrows over this. Arrows will be for adding and subtracting. Positives and negatives. Okay. Number 6. At Electronics Us, the cost of a PlayStation 4 is $468. The company buys the PlayStations for $370. So this is the original, okay? That's the original to the store. What is the percent markup or the percent of change? So guys, remember when we don't know the percent, we have to go to our backup method. We cannot change the percent to a decimal and multiply because we do not have the percent, okay? So that means we're going to do is over of equals percent over 100, okay? This time, this is the original. The company buys the PlayStations for $370. That's the of. Remember, total, whole, original. We know 100 goes here, and we know we're looking for the percent, which means all we need is the is. The is the change. 468 is what it is marked up from 370. So you're going to subtract, and that will go right there, and then you're going to cross multiply. I'm going to check this on my calculator and make sure that it's going to come out to be not too ugly of a number. Okay, so 468 minus 370, whoops, try again. And divide by that. I may have to check these numbers to make sure they are working because I don't think that they are. Okay, I'm going to change these numbers. I'm going to pause this video. Okay, we're going to change this up to make this not so ugly. We're going to make this 481. So this will be correct on your practice sheet. So 481 minus 370. This will go up here. This should be a pretty number, okay? Shouldn't be an ugly number. Okay, number 7, find the circumference. Please, I beg you, use your formula chart. What's the word? Circumference. That means your formula should start with C. Notice I have my formula chart pulled up here, okay? You should have it out every time we do a practice sheet. Okay. Number 8. I think we've either done this before or something very similar. Marcia gave the cashier $20 to pay for 3 pairs of socks. The cashier gave her $5.03 change. Each pair of socks cost the same amount. Okay? So if you are paying for something, okay, and they give you change back, the rest of the money that they didn't give you was the cost, right? So we have to figure out the cost of the 3 pairs. Notice what I'm doing, which is lining up my decimals. This will give me the cost of 3 pairs. Okay, so you are going to subtract. That's going to tell you how much you had to actually spend. Then I have to divide that by 3 to find the cost for each pair. That's what it's asking. Okay, 2 steps. Okay, number 9 and 10 go together. This is what we've been working on. Okay, solve and graph the inequality. So I did not make this difficult. Okay, so what I want you to do right now, this is how I would approach it. Okay, if this was a test, the first thing I'm looking at is the variable is on the correct side. It's on the left. I see it's opened. So the number that's going to count, that's opened. Okay. Am I dividing by a negative or multiplying by a negative? And the answer is no. That means, look here, it's pointing this way. So I'm going to shade to the right. 4x minus 20 is greater than 16. Okay. Your job is going to be to get these numbers. Okay. I want 5 numbers here. I will promise you this is not a decimal. Okay. Now, based on this, circle the answers that make the inequality true. So we know whatever this is, that's not going to be an answer because it's not shaded. Okay. So I'll let you finish that up. Most of you are pretty good with these.